Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Sakshat Kritam Dayanandam Paramarthasvarupinam Tattvajnana-prashastaram Pranatosmi param padam Vagartha-viva sampraktau Vagartha-pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati-parameshwarau Yenakshara-samavnayam Adhigamya-maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we will consider today as a first class for this Sanskrit manual, part 1 by Antoinne. It has got 26 lessons. So you have got homework now. So you can keep doing the exercises, translation. You know very well how to do it, Sanskritam. Simple. Either directly you can do in the class, but I would prefer you please do some homework. Just go through the lessons. We can just read the lesson. Other lessons we are not interested. We are interested only in the exercise, so that we can improve our Sanskritam. Part 1, part 2 also it is there. We will do after completing part 1. Since already we have done some lessons, we can just go through. We will do it again. Not that we are going to skip. It starts with Sanskrit alphabet, the lesson 1. Then first conjugation, Guadigana. We have covered, in fact, all the dhatus before. Then masculine and neuter nouns in Akaranta, nominative and accusative. Then fourth conjugation. Then instrumental and dative, sixth conjugation. Masculine nouns in Ikaranta and Ukaranta. Then ablative and genitive. Anyway, we are not going to use all these names. We will use only Sanskrita name. Then 10th conjugation, Churadikana, locative and vocative. Then feminine nouns in Akaranta and Ikaranta. Then present tense, Latlakara, middle voice. You can know these terms, all these peculiar name words they use, middle voice, Atmanipadi. So we will use Samskrita words only. Imperfect tense, Lang Lakara, active and middle. Active voice and middle is Atmanipadi. And feminine nouns in Ikaranta and Ukaranta. Masculine and feminine nouns in Rikaranta, then imperative mode, Lot Lakara. Feminine nouns in Ukaranta, then potential mode, Vidilin. Then neuter nouns in Ikaranta, Ukaranta, and Rikaranta. Agreement of the adjective. Agreement of the adjective is, that is, Visheshanam is introduced in this exercise. Then personal pronouns, passive voice. Demonstrative pronouns, idam and others, passive voice. Then nouns ending in consonants, halanta, shabda, starts in 15th lesson. Then nouns with one stem. Stem and all we know. What is stem? Again, the English word which we are not familiar, but we know Padam, Basanya. That is what it's about. When we come to that lesson, we will see. Padasanya, we know. What is Padam? Tingantam Padam. Then that 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3, 5, 3. So that is also Padam. And that which ends, which is Basanya, Echibam, that the Pratipadikam.
Sarvanamasthani.
excepting the Sarvanamastana,
yeah.
that Pradipadikam, which precedes the pratyaya beginning with yakara or the vowel is called Basanya, right?
Yeah.
So that which has Basanya will not have Padasanya. Two different sanyas. So that's what it is. Stem is about. Then passive impersonal, the name for Bhavi Prayoga. Then nouns with two stems, present in perfect participles. Tak, tavatu, pratyaya, use of the participles. The nouns and adjective is with the two stems. Then degrees of comparison. That we will see here only Yasun pratyaya. Then superlative will come Ishtan pratyaya. Those shabdas also. So Taratama also it is there, and Yasun Ishtan pratyaya also will come.
Oh, okay.
The nouns and adjective with three stems, and similarly the next lesson also like that. Then formation of the feminine, how to convert a masculine to feminine, like that we know Shatranta we convert into by adding Ikara, right?
Ikara.
Eep pratyaya, it is technically eep, but the content is E, like Shatra we convert into Kartri, Kartra into Kartri, like that. Then indeclinable past participle, Twa and Le pratyaya. Then locative and genitive absolute. This is called Sati Saptami. So we'll discuss all those things when it comes here. Then infinite in Tumun, then adverb clause. At the end of the book, some the vocabularies are given. It's very important. You can develop your vocabulary. So you can do daily some exercise where we can have one class. We can quickly go through this. Lesson 1. Just for the sake of covering, we will cover lesson 1. Alphabet. We know 13 vowels, right? 13 vowels and 33 consonants.
Yeah.
Vowels classification, Rasva and Dirgha. Another way of classifying the vowels, simple vowels and diphthongs. In Sanskritam it is called Samana Swaraha, Swaraha. Then consonants can be divided into, Vargiya Vyanjanani, Avargiya Vyanjanani. Then their place of pronunciation, Kantya, Talavya, Murdhanya, Dantya, Hoshtya. I'm just skipping, we know all these things, therefore. You can know the English words. There's Kantya, gutturals, palatals, cerebrals, dentals, labials. Then first letter of all the class, second letter, it is hard consonant. Hard, non-aspirate, alpa prana. Hard aspirate, aha prana. Similarly, non-aspirate, soft aspirate. Then soft nasal, semi-vowels, and sibilants. Then Anuswara is Ayogavaga, Anuswara, the dot. Visarga is also Ayogavaga. And Avagraha is a sign where the Akara is elided. It is shown by this S symbol, which is called Avagraha. It is not a letter. And the stroke at the bottom of the vowel indicates it's a pure consonant. There is no vowel attached to it. Then Vyanjanam consonant is Melanam. This. Then compound consonants, otherwise called conjunct consonants. When two or more consonants have to be written without any vowels, then it is called compound consonants. Then Sanskrit numerals. Write the Sanskrit vowels. Very difficult question, huh? For the long-term course in the Gurukulam, certain materials I prepared. I just share with you. You don't have to do work with this. This is simple. Write the Sanskrit vowels. This is the answer for that. Okay, everything is there. Then next question, write the Sanskrit consonants. These are the consonants. 33 consonants. The next third question, what are the hard consonants? Answer is what are the hard consonants?
First two class.
How many are there? How many hard consonants are there? 13. That you can.
13. Yeah. Okay.
That is the hard consonant. It's a pratyahara, which covers all the consonants. You can count. Number would be 13. Then what are the soft consonants? Hush. You can count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 20 plus 13, 33. Of course, it has to be
33. 33 minus 13. Yeah.
20. Join the following group of letters. Akara plus A, Na, etc. Write the following in Sanskrit letters. This is Upavishami, etc. Okay, that's all. First lesson is over. Lesson number 2. Vadigana. The Sanskrit verb conjugated in a finite sense has 3 persons and 3 numbers. The 3 numbers, Ekavachanam, Dvivachanam, and Bahuvachanam. Verbal root is called Dhatu, and verbal base. Okay, you can note the name. Anga is called by him by the name
Base.
verbal base. But again, the name is confusing. Verbal root we are saying verbal base. Then if you can know if you can call the distinctly, it's okay. We say no noun base, right? Pratipadika.
That's Pratipadika.
Similarly, verbal base means we think it is verbal root. Maybe we may think possible, but it is Anga. He calls it by the name Anga. Nothing wrong. These are all the English terms. Anyway, we are not going to use. But in case if you require, if you happen to read any text, if you see the word, because these are all common names used in all English authors book, you will see verbal base Anga. The one stem, middle voice, passive personal voice, all those words. Then the formation of the verbal base, Anga, depends partly on the strengthening of the radical vowel. What is a radical vowel? Radicalist, we know. Radical vowel, okay. Radical vowel is the vowel of the root. Simple vowels are subject to twofold strengthening. You see, Angakarya, it's called strengthening. He calls the Angakarya by the name strengthening. Twofold strengthening. What is the first one? The first degree of strengthening is Guna. The second degree of strengthening is Vriddhi. Strengthening of the vowel. Make it strong by Guna and Vriddhi.
He said Guna Angakarya and Vriddhi Angakarya.
Vriddhi, Angakarya. Angakarya is called strengthening. You can remember the name, strengthening. Then Guna and Vriddhi, I think he has not given any names for that. Radical vowels, the formation of the verbal base, that is Anga, depends on the strengthening of the radical. That is radical strengthening of the radical vowel. Vowel will be there. Vowel, the dhatu, that's the radical vowel, which undergoes strengthening. That becomes Guna Vriddhi, right? Guna Vriddhi Angakarya, that's called strengthening. That is Iganta Anga will take Guna or Vriddhi. That vowel is called radical vowel. And the Angakarya is called strengthening. So he has given simple vowels, short and long. It's Guna form. Rikara, we know, Repa will be appended to it. Whenever Rikara is replaced by an letter, A, I, U, Repa will be appended. So, A, Ye, O. In fact, Ar and Al, for those who follow the book without having the Pani background. What are the Guna letters? For them, it is 5. We know it is 3. For them, it is 5. Because we know that Repa will be appended. Uran Raparaha, that rule is there. And Repa and Likara, they are Savarna. Therefore, Likara is there. What is said for Repa, it's also applicable for Likara also. Okay. Uran Raparaha. In fact, Raparaha is there it is. This is another technique. I think you know, there's a Pratyaghara called Ra. There's a Pratyaghara Ra. This is something extra. I think you know it is. You can form a Pratyaghara. Ra Pratyaghara. You know what is that Ra? Ra Pratyaghara. That is Ra with Chandra Bindu.
Oh, okay.
That is, however it is there. Then up to La. Up to La. La is what is the vowel there? What is the ith letter there? Anunasika H. Right?
Anunasika H.
Therefore, you can form the Pratyaghara Ra. It is something like this. I'll show you 1 minute. Ra is a Pratyahara. More one Pratyahara actually. That is Ra with the Chandra Bindu. This is a Pratyahara. Do you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
This is, I think you know it, right? I taught you this, the context of Pratyahara. Yes or no?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Oh, Ra is a Pratyahara. That is starting from Ayavarat up to Lan. So therefore content will be Repa and Lakara.
Yes.
Here the it letter is, what is the it letter? Anunasikach, right? With the Chandra Bindu. The content of Ra is Repa and Lakara. That A is it letter, that is not considered. But Ra is the Pratyahara. So
I think you
therefore,
told us, yeah.
Uran Raparaha, that Ra is there. So it stands for Repa and Lakara. Therefore, whenever Repa or Lakara, when it is replaced by unlettered, then Repa or Lakara will be Repa and Lakara. Okay, respectively will be appended. If it is replaced by, if Repa is replaced by unlettered, then Repa will be appended to it. If Lakara is replaced by unlettered, un is AEU, then Lakara will be appended. Sorry, when Rikara is replaced by okay. When Rikara is replaced by unlettered, Repa will be appended. When Likara is replaced by unlettered, Lakara will be appended. Okay.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, I said by mistake Repa.
No,
it is not, you know it, Rikara. That's why Uran Raparaha we say. Uhu and Raparaha. Here Raparaha is that, this is what the Pratyahara is. Ra it is. Uhu is this Rikara. Rikara and Lakara, they are Savarna. Therefore, Likara also you can bring in. Even though Rikara is said here in the Sutram, therefore, we can bring Likara also. Whenever Rikara is replaced by Repa, you have to take like that. Whenever Rikara is replaced by Repa, then Rikara is Rikara is replaced by unlettered, not Repa. Okay, Shamitam. Okay. Whenever Rikara is replaced by unlettered, Repa will be appended to it. It means un is A, E, U. So Repa will be appended to it. Rikara replaced by un. Repa will be appended to it. And since Rikara and Likara, they are Savarna, therefore you can bring Likara also. Rikara here it stands for Dirga also. Dirga Rikara. Okay. And Likara, we don't have Dirga, only Rasva.
Rasva.
So therefore, when Likara is replaced by unlettered, Lakara will be appended. So therefore, Guna letter, what are Guna letters if you ask? A, A, O. And we say Al also for the sake of, including all the Rikara and Likara possibility also, we say. Actually, strictly speaking, Guna letters are A, O only, Adin Gunaha only. This is for the non-Paninians. Those who don't know Panini Sutra, we say for them Ar and Al. The beginning, this is how it is taught. Later we know, therefore we don't say this. Because you know the Sutram, Uran, Raparaha. Understand?
Yes, Chief.
All these things. Yeah.
No, this Sutram I remember you have taught us.
But you told us. Now I remember. But yeah.
So when we discuss the Sutram, then that time definitely you would have seen this also. It is one special Pratyahara. That is why in the Mahageshwar Sutra, when we chant, we say Lan. With the Chandra Bindu, because that is the Ra Pratyahara is required in this Sutra. Uran Raparaha. Uhu and Raparaha. Here Ra is. Why we need that? Uhu is nothing but Ru. Ru will bring it Savarna. What is Savarna? Rikara as well as Likara. And similarly, Ra will bring in Repa and Lakara. So therefore, Rikara or Dirgha Rikara are replaced by an. Repa will be appended. Likara, which is Savana to R, that also can come. So when it is replaced by an, and in the Ra Pratyahara, Lakara is a, that will be appended. That's the idea. So therefore, A, E, O, Ar, Al, iti 5 Gunakarya. Suppose if it is Dirgha, Vriddhi, then what would be that? What are the Vriddhi letters? A, I, O.
Oh,
Then what? Then what about if it is replaced by
R,
All.
and all? That's all. So 5 Guna letters, 5 Vriddhi letters. This is how we teach for the beginners. So that it will become easy for Guna Sandhi, Vriddhi Sandhi and all. Right? Now you know why it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what is given. See, Antoinne is it's a manual. In the beginning, when I started learning on my own, I struggled to understand what is this. I don't understand this at all. Really. What is this given? I could not make out. Why it is R is there, Al is there? What is this happening? From where I got Repa? What is Guna? It just not said. See, Guna letter of A or A is A is this. What does it mean, Guna? Because Sanyas have not been defined, but this is what the definition is. So I really in the beginning long back, I struggled to understand this. This is a manual. This has to be taught for the no, it's not something to be one can learn on its own. The beginners I'm talking about. This has to be taught actually. Since we all know it very well, therefore we can just glance through.
This English is also something differential.
Yeah, different. English also. See, first initially I struggled with these terms and English terms as well as the Sanskrit terms and also the It Prakaranam in the beginning when I started learning on my own. I started learning in the beginning on my own. I was attempting, but I could not succeed really. The It Prakaranam itself was very difficult for me. Later, when this Panini was introduced, then it's a smooth walk. Then I started learning on my own. Teacher will give only the hint. After that, we have to learn on our own. So this without any support in the beginning. That is why we need some guidance. Teacher is required. Then the formation of the base. The formation of the base is the first conjugation. For me, the formation of the base means is talking about the verbal base. Anga karya. You are preparing the anga. The radical vowel is there, which will become guna and vriddhi. That's what he's saying here. The final vowel in the short medial. So see, final vowel is iganta. That final vowel. But he doesn't say iganta because he doesn't introduce all the pratyaharas here. Never uses pratyahara. The Antoinne never mentions pratyahara.
these words are not getting registered at all.
At all.
It's difficult. Not required. Not
Ah.
required. We are not interested in the lesson. We are interested in the exercise only. Because we know very well, therefore these words are, you don't have to remember. In case if you read something on your own later, some English text, English Sanskrit books, that time if you come across these words, then you may understand what it is. Short medial vowel. What is short medial vowel? That is
Upada, is it?
medial is upada. Iganta anga and rasva ik upada. Okay. The medial vowel is a vowel which stands between two consonants. Okay, it defines what medial vowel is also. When a short vowel is followed by a conjunct consonant, it is counted as long. We know this. Remember? Sanyogi guru. So here, nind, the last letter is dakara, penultimate is nakara, and ikara is that is rasva or dirgha.
Dirgaya.
Dirgha.
The guru is
Guru it is.
Not dirgha, it is rasva, get a sanya guru, not
Yeah.
it's rasva only,
It's a sanya.
is guru. Dirgha will be called guru, and the rasva also will be called guru when it is followed by a conjunct consonant. Here he doesn't say guru, he says long. That is why I also did long. Okay, but it is not really long vowel. It is short only, but it is called guru. Is for him the word for guru is long.
He says it's counted as long.
It's counted as long. It means
It's long.
dirgham cha.
Ah,
Sanyoge guru. Not counted as actually. Long is a word he is using for guru because sutra itself you say, if you see, Rasvam Lagu, right? Sanyoge guru, dirgham cha. Dirgha is called guru, and the short vowel, when followed by conjunct consonant, is called guru. That is what the sutram says. Okay. So, therefore, it says like that, but it is not really correct. It is not counted as long. Rasva cannot be dirgha. It is rasva only. But it has got another name. It's called guru. You have to say guru. But he doesn't use separate English word for guru. He just calls it as long. Okay. Similarly, baksh. That akara is guru. Or he uses the word long for guru. Then what vowel he will, what name will he use for long vowel? Again, he has to use long. That's why it's a problem. Anyway,
he's saying long, and this, though it is short, it's counted as long.
by that he can, yeah, that serves a purpose for it. But no harm in calling it that. That's why he uses that. Say, okay, then short medial vowel, whatever it is, we know that. What is a medial vowel is? It's a vowel between two consonants. Between two consonants, called medial vowel. Short medial vowel is rasva ik upada. Then,
that's easy to remember.
the letter I is added before the terminations. What are the terminations? That is a pratyaya. Okay, think pratyayas. They are the terminations. So the letter A is added before the terminations. We say after the dhatu, pratyaha parascha, right? Think pratyaya will come after the dhatu. Then shat pratyaya comes, that also must come after the dhatu. Right? So here he says the letter A. A is what? Shap actually. We are doing first conjugation here, Varigana. He doesn't say shit and pit and all, just say A. A means the content of the pratyaya A. It's added before the termination, before the case, not case, what we call. Use of the word termination. For supratyas, it is case terminations. For tin pratyaya, he doesn't use any specific, just calls it as terminations. The A becomes A before the terminations, beginning with makara or vakara. We know, right? Atodirgha.
Purva Rupa.
Not Pura Rupa. Atodirgha yagi.
Atodirgha. Okay.
Atodirgha yagi, right?
Yeah.
Adantanga. What will happen to the dirgha when it is
Patami.
Yagyado.
Followed by the Yajnado.
In Ashtadhyayi Pravesha also we saw this, right?
Yeah.
The A is dropped before terminations, beginning with what is this? Patanti, Atogune.
This is Atogune.
Apadanta A followed by the pratyaya beginning with akara, then purva parayogastane, purvaha desha bhavati we say. He doesn't say like that. He says A is dropped.
Pararupa Sandhi.
It is Pararupa Sandhi. So all these things you have to note it. If you have the book with you, mark it like that. Okay. Anyway, you know it is. We are not interested in the lesson. We are interested only in the exercises. Okay. The termination of the present tense, lat lakara, active voice. Okay. Another thing is a first person me vaha maha. Okay. That he uses. You see,
Uttama
Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, Prathama Purusha.
Yes, that order will come. Me vaha maha, sitaha taha, titaha, anti. Applications. Roots having a short medial vowel. That is short medial vowel. Pat, bud, krish, etc. Now formation of the noun base. That is formation of the verbal base. Anga. Guna of the short medial vowel will happen. Guna of the here pat is there. What will happen to the short medial vowel? That is rasa upada. That is A only.
Only.
Because guna letter of is what? Only. So it doesn't call, it doesn't say it is equilateral. Just say if is there, what is going to be the short vowel when you say I, U, R, L, right? I, U, R. Equilateral covers I, U, R, L. I is excluded. But it includes A also because guna letter of A is A only. Now no significant change you see here. Pat is Pat only. But Paninamagari says it says equilateral for guna vriddhi, right? Iko guna vriddhi. Anyway, so in case later when you teach somebody this, all these things you can say like that. Okay. Then Buddha, Ukara is short medial vowel. What is then it will take guna.
Guna.
Become O. Krish will become guna letter. That you have to take on the tabular column. Karsh. Then after this, letter A should be added before the terminations. So Pat will become Pata. Both will become Bodha. Karsh become Karsha. Then you add the terminations. Makara, Vakara, Dirga will happen. Ato, Dirgo, Yagi. Then Ato Gune for the Pratyaya beginning with A, which is only one. Here it is. Ajadi Pratyaya, which is Anti. Okay. This much details not required. Anyway.
Actually, you were done nicely with the shop and all. That was very clear in our mind, Charanji.
This is something, the English it is that later when you teach someone, it will be useful.
Only your method will be using.
Yes, and Sanskrit.
Now if you can teach actually. Some people are interested, you can start, you can do it. That's right. This exercise part is, that is what we are interested in. This lesson part, and you can, if you are taking this book, you can explain like this. Since you know more, this is easy for you.
No, Ji.
Actually, that is easy. This method of learning, I don't think it will be easy, Sharanji.
This is for the complete for the English students actually. So you are Paninian, so the Paniniyaha. For that. Now, okay, anyway, just we will read that. Jeev. Okay. Jeev is, it's a short medial vowel. No. And then it is not also, it is also counted as long, he said, Guru. Therefore, it will not happen. The medial vowel doesn't take guna because it is long. Therefore, Jeev and you add Jivati in the then roots having a final vowel. That is called Iganta. Ji, Bu, Sru. Then what will happen? Guna will happen. Ji will become J, Bu will become O. Then you add this happens. Then Sandhi happens. Now you see in this second lesson, he introduces Sandhi, vowel Sandhi. A plus A, Bo plus A. When A and O are followed, the same word by any vowel, they are changed respectively to I and O. So Ayava Sandhi. You get then the form Jaya, then Bhava. Then with Pratyaya, the termination beginning Makara, Vakara, this becomes long. So therefore Jaya and Bhava Sarayati. And before termination beginning with A, it is dropped. So Jai Bhava Sarati. So therefore you get the form Jayati, Jayataha, Jayanti.
We didn't read this book, I think, Ji. All this we didn't read.
We just did only the exercises.
That's what I did only the exercise. We are not interested in this because we know it. That's why we didn't read this. Now, when you read this, you can easily follow. It is not difficult. You may not be comfortable with the terms because all the medial vowel and all. But anyway, I use all these words. When I took this book for the long-term course, this also I used the words, English words also. This only sometimes I used. They also know Panini. They also found it sometimes difficult. But anyway, since the exercise sometimes they may use, therefore we have to refer what are these words mean. So now this Kriya Padam, you please read the commentary. You read the left column, somebody here right column. Just see whether you know all the Kriya Padams.
Krish Karshati to draw. Creed Creedati to play, Kanati to dig, Kadati to eat, Charati to move, Chalati to move, Jayati to conquer, Jeev, jeevati to live, tyaj, tyajati to abandon, dah, dahati to burn, dhru, dravati to run, to melt, dav, davati to run, nam, namati to salute, ni, nayati to lead, pach, pachati to cook.
See, yes, no, all are which gana?
First gana, bhava,
And,
bhavadi gana.
And also, please note here in the exercise also some peculiar translations will be there. This is because Antoinne, so foreign author, right? So translations also not really the words also. You will see the exercise that translate the following into Sanskritam in English. Some peculiar sentences will be there. That's okay. For the translation purpose, it's okay. Or if you can translate on your own using some other words, that also it's okay. There are many sentences like that. We are not comfortable with the word given. I'll show you when it comes. So these are the names. I mean, these are the meanings of the Kriya Padam. But other meanings, if it is possible in a situation, that also you have to take it. Dhatuna mane kartaha. These are the popular meanings. Yes, Sumati, please read.
Pat, patati to fall. Bud, bodhati to know. Bhu, bhavati to be or to become. Brahm, brahmati to walk. Yaj, yajati to worship. Raksh, rakshati to protect. Ruk, rohati to grow. Then vad, vadati to speak. Vapati to sow. Vasati to dwell. Then vahati to carry or to flow. Vrajati to go. Then shamsati to praise. Sarati to go. Smarati to remember.
Conjugate the following in the present tense, active voice. Latlakara, kartari prayaha. Ni will become
Nayati.
Nayati.
nayati, nayataha, nayanti. Right? It's Ubhayapati, in fact. You have not introduced Atmanipati. We know it is Ubhayapati. Middle voice also possible. Middle voice, Atmanipati. Right? Then vas.
Vasati. Vasataha vasanti.
Dhru.
Dravati. Dravataha dravanti.
Buddh.
Bodhati. Bodhataha bodanti.
Smru.
Smarati. Smarataha smaranti.
Yes. Sociology. Please translate the following into English.
Sarami.
Each one of you take one by one. Sociology followed by Kameshwari Sumachidi. Sociology, Kameshwari Sumachidi. Right? Quickly. Yes, please do it. Sarami.
Sarami.
Sarami. Srudhatu. To go. It is there.
To go.
To go.
Sruj means to create. Here, Sruj
I go.
is
Sarami.
Samyak sarati samsaraha. Sarami, right? I go. Sometimes this is they use the translation. I go. Agam sarami, you would say. Gachami. Agam sarami. Okay, next one, quickly.
Tejanti.
I said Sociology, Kameshwari, Sumati. You can.
Okay.
Tyajanti, to abandon. So they abandon. Plural. They abandon. Abandon.
Yes.
Jivamaha, it's Uttama Purusha Bhuvachan, so it will be we live.
Okay. Sociology, next one.
Samsataha to praise.
Shams is to praise. Shamsataha is?
Praise.
We.
No.
They praise. They too praise.
They too praise.
Next one.
Pachasi, you cook.
You can add the noun, okay, even if it is not given here. For Pratama Purusha, you can say Saha, Taute, and Madhyama Purusha, Uttama Purusha, of course, you can add. Yes, next one.
Rakshata, Tvam Rakshata,
No.
so you protect.
No, please.
I'm sorry, Rakshata, so it will be Avam. Tvam, I'm sorry, Tvam Yuyam Vayam.
Tvam Yuvam Rakshata, right?
Yuvam. So
Not
you
Yuvam.
protect.
Yuvam is
Yum. Yum.
Yuyam.
Vayam. So you protect.
Yuyam, you all, not you. You all. Right?
You all protect.
Next one.
We
Sushila ji.
Khadavah. Khadavah.
Yes.
We too eat.
Yeah, you can tell in Sanskrit. In fact, you don't have to tell the meaning. You can just add the noun and say the sentence. Khadavaha.
Avam khadavah.
Next one.
Vadati. Saha vadati.
That's all. That's enough. Next one. Sumati ji. Quickly.
Rohataha. Rohataha will be Yuyam Rohataha.
No, Yuvam.
Yuvam, I'm getting confused. Yuvam Rohataha.
Don't make this exercise difficult exercise, huh?
Yuvam.
Simple exercise. This is one. Okay. Anyway, that if you have difficulty in that, now you can straighten it out. Rogat. That is taha is Vivachanam, tha is Bhagavachanam. Madhyama Purusha. Remember. Okay.
Meaning ji rohati.
Rogati, grow. You
Grow.
Grow.
You too
Okay,
grow.
okay.
You too grow.
Okay.
Next one.
Te karshanti.
Good. Next one.
Kanami. Aham kanami.
Next one.
Digging.
Where is that? Charamaha. Charamaha. Vayam charamaha.
Yes. Next one.
Tau jayataha.
Very good. Next one.
Tvam jivasi.
Yes.
Vayam dahamaha.
Saha namati.
Yuyam nayata.
Next
Next
person.
is
Sumati.
Smara. Yeah, Smara. That is one. No, Smaravaha. Smaravaha will be Avam Smara.
Avam Smarabaha.
Smaravaha.
Aham vasami.
Okay.
Te chalanti.
Tau Tavataha.
Pachanti. Te pachanti.
Yeshaha bodati.
Very good.
And next is Vapatha.
Vapatha.
Vapatha. That will be
Yuyam.
Yuyam Vapatha.
Yuyam Vapatha. Yes.
Tvam bhavasi.
Tau yajataha.
Vayam Vahamaha.
Shishulaji.
Avam vrajavaha.
Rajavaha. Translate the following into Sanskritam. Kameshwaraji. We worship. Quickly, please do. Quickly.
Vayam namati. Namamaha.
Vayam Namamaha. That's right. That's practice. Quickly you can do. Yes. Sumati ji. Next one.
The next one is you to move. So charat. It will be charataha. That means it will be yuvam charataha.
Yes.
He conquers. Saha
Jayati.
jayati. Saha jayati.
So this is this is simple exercise. Like that exercise is going to come by saying the word, English word. You should remember the Sanskrita sentence. I mean the noun or verb, whatever it is. Yeah.
They grow. Yete rohanti.
Yes.
I sow. I sow. So is vapati. No? So
Yes.
I vapami. That means
Yes.
aham vapami.
Agam Apami. Yes.
We too abandon. Vayam.
Not Vayam. You too. You said.
Sorry. We. Avam. Tejati.
Tyaja.
Tejavaha.
Tejavaha.
Yes.
Thou salutest. Tvam. Bhavan. We have to say Bhavan or Tvam.
Tom you can say.
Tvam namasi.
Okay. Next one.
To remember. So thou smarataha.
Yes.
They cook. Yuyam.
They cook. Where is Yuyam?
Sorry.
They.
Te
They-
pachanti.
they-
Te pachanti.
Okay.
I fall, aham patami.
He draws. Saha karsh. I'm sorry. Te karshanti.
Saha Karshati only. Also.
Karshati only. Okay.
Yes.
He draws.
Yuvam khanatha.
Kanataha.
Khanatha.
Okay.
They know, te jananti.
Bodanti. But here, anyway, it's okay. You can say Jananti, nothing wrong with that. You get Buddha Dhatu equal Bodanti. Okay.
Then Baba, what is that? We too become. Bhavaha. So avam bhavaha.
Okay.
Thou eatest khadati.
Kadasi is you.
Khadasi. Oh. Tvam khadasi.
Yes.
They too move, tau charataha.
We protect. Vayam rakshamaha.
You live.
Tvam vasasi.
Vasasi, Jivasi. Okay. He leads.
He leads, saha nayati.
We go.
We go. Gachat. That is avam gachati.
Why Avam? We.
Avam no. Vayam gachati. Gachanti.
Vayam Gachanti. Agam. Why Agam? We is Vayam only.
Vayam
Not
only I said,
Gachanti.
Charanji.
Huh?
Gachanti.
But you said
I said
Gachanti.
Vayam.
But you said
Vayam.
Gachamaha.
Vayam gachamaha.
Gachamaha. She said
said
Agam.
Gachanti.
I said Vayam. Gachanti.
No, I said Vayam gachanti. I said
That's what I'm
gachamaha.
saying. Yes. It's not Gachanti, it's Gachamaha. Yes.
We too run. Yuvam.
You to praise.
Oh,
You to praise.
please. Yuvam prashamsati.
Prashamsati.
Here
Shamsa.
shamshataha.
Shamsataha. Madhyama Purusha, right?
Yes, samshataha.
They melt.
I don't remember the word for melt.
What is the word for melt?
Pravanti.
Dravati, Dravataha.
Dravati.
Dravati, Dravataha.
Dravati. Okay. Te dravanti.
Yes. I burn.
I burn. Aham dahami.
Tau.
Wow, pallas. Is it vasati?
Yeah, that's what, yes.
Saha tvam vasasi.
Vasasi, Tvam Vasasi. Next one.
They too speak, tau vadataha.
We to run.
We too run. Avam dhavaha.
You go.
You go. Tvam gechasi.
He carries.
He carries, saha vahati.
I cook.
Aham pachami.
You too.
You too eat. Yuvam khadataha.
Very good. Then this, number 2. Okay, this is exercise number 1. If you want, I can send you this. Now exercise number 3. We'll move on like that quickly. Up to some lessons. After that, you have to do this homework. Really. In Sanskrit, lesson number 3, masculine and neutered nouns in akaranta, nominative and accusative. We don't use all these names. We use prathama vibhaktihi, vidya vibhaktihi, kartakaraka, karmakaraka, all these names. In Sanskrit, the grammatical function of a noun in a sentence is indicated by special terminations called case endings. So that vibhakti, supratyas are called case endings or case terminations. For instance, the noun putra becomes putraha when it is the subject. It becomes putram when it is direct object. Yes, you can note direct object, indirect object. That we will use. Direct object means karma. What we express by means of prepositions such as with, by, to, for, from, of, in is also, etc. It's also rendered into Sanskrit by case endings. There are 8 cases in Sanskritam: nominative, accusative, instrumental, dative, ablative, genitive, locative, vocative. These terms, I think you know it, right? The names.
Yes.
Ablative and all, ablative dative.
No, no, no.
Nominative is person.
Instrumental, we know. Nominative,
Nominative,
accusative,
first.
instrumental, we know.
Okay.
Accusative is with
Dative
This
is
is a new word.
Sampradana. Apadana is ablative. And genitive is Shashti Bhakti.
Pashti.
Locator is Saptami, Adhika.
And Sambodhana vacative. As in the verbs, so also in the noun, Sanskrit has 3 numbers, singular, dual, and plural, 3 genders. Fine. The various forms taken by a noun in all its cases and numbers are the declension. That's called vibhakti. Declension is vibhaktayaha, declensions. There are 2 types of nouns ending in a. Some are masculine, some are neuter. Both masculine and neuter in akara are declined the same way, except in the nominative and nominative, accusative, and vocative. Pratama, Vidya, and Sambodhana. Declension of Kupa. Swamiji used to make fun. Puja Swamiji. They're starting the Shabda. Why you start with Kupa? Why don't you start with Rama?
Rama.
It's like falling into the well.
Falling into a well. Why should you start with Kupa? Don't you find some good word? Rama is there. That's why we say Rama ga Rama Rama. Why Kupa ga Kupa Kupa? So Rama Shabda is better. Okay. Anyway, we will know Ram. We will say Rama only. And Akaranta Napumsakalinga is Vanashabda. We know this. The verb agrees with its subject in person and number. That's called Samanadhikaranyam. Think Samanadhikaranyam. Patati and Balaha. Patati Pratama Purusha. Therefore, Balaha is Pratama Purusha and it is Ekavachanam. Latlagara. Balaha is a subject. Therefore, Bala is a Pradipadikam. Balaha is a subject. Nominative case. Pratama Vibhakti Ekavachanam. Matching with the Kriya Padam. 2 boys fall. Balo Padataha Balaha Patanti. This is a rule. This is what we are seeing in Sanskrit composition also. But that little more. Then nominative case is used to indicate the subject. Nominative case indicates subject. Janakaha Nayati. So Pratama Vibhakti indicates subject. And there's something called subjective complement. We saw in Sanskrit composition predicate. Right? Predicate. The subject and the predicate, they are not separated by is, was, or, become, etc. These words. The sons become heroes. Suppose this is a sentence is there given for translation. Now will you translate? Putraha viraha bhavanti. Putraha viraha bhavanti. So here viraha, putraha both are in same vibhakti, pratama vibhakti, bhagavachana. They are not adjective, substantive. Right? They don't have that relation. Putraha subject, Viraha predicate. Of subjective complement. He calls subjective complement. The Putraha Viraha Bhavanti. So to indicate the subjective complement, Viraha, there also Pratama Vibhakti is used. To indicate a noun in opposition to the subject. Rama, the hero, conquers. Ramaha Viraha Jayati. In opposition to the subject. Here, the Rama and Veera, they are of the same vibhakti. Samanadhikaranyam is there. Ramaha, Rama, the hero. Rama, who is a hero, conquers. So, Kaha Jayati, Ramaha Jayati. And Rama is a hero. So, this is also another usage of nominative case. Pratama Vibhakti. Ramaha, Veeraha. You can make it into a substantive, adjective substantive also possible. Suppose the valorous Rama conquers. Veeraha Ramaha Jayati, we say. Right? Veeraha Ramaha Jayati. When you say that Veeraha, that all depends on your vivaksha. You want to make it into a adjective to the substantive Rama, possible. Veeraha Ramaha, the valorous Rama conquers. But here it is an opposition. Please remember this. This will be the word, the opposition, etc. When we do Sanskrit composition, that will be useful. Rama, the hero, conquers. Thus it is Ramaha Veeraha Jayati. Now, Ditya Vibhakti, accusative, with accusative case. I heard this accusative and that it is German or something it is used, that these words. That is why in English also it is called accusative. Germans are much interested, more interested in Sanskritam than other people. That is why their words, other people also borrow accusative, etc. Accusative case, that is Dvitiya Vibhakti, to indicate a direct object of a transitive verb. We have seen in the last class, right? Transitive verb, Sakramaka, Dhatu, Akramaka Dhatu. We will continue that. Actually, some disturbance came. That class will continue later. Transitive verb. Transitive verbs, Sakarmaka Dhatu, are those which can take an karma, an object, direct object. Why direct object?
Yeah.
Direct object? Because there are Dvikarmaka Dhatus. There, another object also possible. That is why he calls he calls it as direct object. That which can take, that is transitive verbs for which an object is possible. That object is direct object. The father leads the son. Putraha nayati. Kan putran. So putra is the object. Because it is an object, therefore it is in Vidya Vibhakti. Similarly, objective complement as the subjective complements. Similarly, Vayam Bodhamaha. What? Vayam Ramam Bodhamaha. Ramam to be what? Veeram. So Vayam Ramam Veeram Bodhamaha. Here Veeram is objective complement. Vayam Ramam Bodhamaha. Rama is Veera. So this is objective complement. After verbs indicating movement, Gatyartaka Dhatu. Rama goes to the well. To the well, the place of reach, that's destination. That will be in. That also considered to be karma only, direct object, well. So Dasaha Gachati, Putra Gachati, Kupam. Kupa is the direct object for the Gamana Kriya. So
He's given
therefore,
the declensions.
sorry?
He has given the declensions for Kupa before, so he's using the same thing.
It's using the same, yeah, that's what it is.
Kupa.
Kupam Gachati. The servant goes to the well. So after the verbs indicating movement is Gatyartaka. So all the Gatyartaka dhatus can take karma. Okay. Then with the prepositions, Upapada Vibhaktis, Ati, all the Upapada, the meaning of the prepositions, please you can note Ati above, Anu after, along, Abhi near, Upa near or below, Abhitaha near, in front of, Paritaha around, Sarvataha all sides, Ubhayataha both sides, Dik Fayan, Samaya Nikasha near, Vina without, Antarena without or concerning, Antara between, Prati towards. And Sandhi rules. We know this. Padanta Makara will become Anuswara, number 1. And when followed by hard con, the third letter, what will happen to the Visarga? We don't have to deal with this, we know this. Visarga will become
Sakara.
If it is followed by the
That letter, it will become Sakara.
Anati, there it becomes Sakara.
Papa is
Patanti fa, that
Jihva
Mulya. Jihva Mulya. Here also, Kanati also.
Remove the 4 letters from the Kaka Papa. Other key only you take. Sha, Sha, Sa. Then the Visarga will become Sakara. Then if it is followed by Shakara, Shakara, then Shutpashtutva will happen. Then when preceded by A, followed by soft consonants or vowel, it is drop. Akara, right? What is that rule?
Um,
Go, Apurvasya, Yoshi.
Yes.
He says it is dropped, but it is not dropped directly. It becomes Yakara.
Yakara.
And therefore, Yakara, then there Lopaka Shakalya say it is dropped mandatorily when followed by a soft consonant.
Soft consonant.
When followed by a vowel, dropping is optional. Janaha atanti, Jana atanti or Janayatanti possible. Right?
Yes.
When preceded by a and followed by hush, soft consonant, what will happen? Becomes we will Kara and Guna happens. When preceded by a and followed by any vowel except a, what will happen? Here also, it becomes yakara only.
No, Visarga yakara. Yakara will be then loka.
Yakara drops optionally when
Drops.
vowel follows, mandatorily when a consonant follows. Right?
Yes.
When preceded by a and followed by a, then
Ukara,
Now,
ukara will become
guna will happen,
ukara.
then
Guna.
purva rupa will happen.
yes, ukara will come and then guna will happen. Then after that,
Guna
purva.
will proceed.
Yeah, purva.
Yes. When visarga is followed by a sibilant, shasa, then it is changed optionally to the sibilant. Ramaha, this is a Vashari, right?
Vashi.
Vashari. Please keep this vocabulary in your mind, it is useful. Ashvaha. Yes. Okay. You can read. Termination. You can read the first column. This
Ashvaha.
problem in Sambhasham speaking is remembering the vocabulary. You need to have some good vocabulary. At the end of the reading of this volume 1, even volume 1 you will have good vocabulary if you remember all the vocabularies. And volume 2 also, if you know, then many Kriya Padam Dhatus you know, and will be knowing a good amount of vocabulary also. Yes, please read.
Ashvaha, horse. Acharaha, conduct. Kapotaha, pigeon. Karaha, hand. Kakaha, crow. Pramaha, village. Janaha, person. Dasaha, servant. Deshaha, country. Naraha, man. Nripaha, king. Parvataha, mountain. Balaha, boy. Meghaha, cloud. Vrikshaha, tree.
See, Sanskrit given English meaning you know, but English and Sanskrit that would be.
That is
So
Yeah.
you read the other way, okay, next time. Because
Ah.
when you're trying to speak, what you're trying to do is you are thinking, what is this word? Somebody ask. That context, what is the word or context? Hachara should come to your mind. Right? Okay. Mataji, you read the other way.
Food, annam, fuel, indanam, gold, kanakam, lotus, kamalam, water, jalam, grass, trinam, misery, dukkham, leaf, patram, vessel, patram, fruit, phalam, body, shariram, sacred precept, shastram, character, sheelam, happiness, sukham, place, sthanam.
Yeah. The next one. Sushilakshi.
Near, in front, apitaha, around, paritaha, on all sides, sarvataha, on both sides, upayataha, payon.
Payan. Payan means that is, it is payan you, means it is, what do you call it? The English means payan only.
One time you gave us this translation, I remember.
Yeah, we did all these things.
Translation at that time I remember giving.
If you are good for nothing or spit on yourself,
Something like that.
That is thick.
Thick. Near, samaya, nikasha. Without, vina, antarena. Ati, ebo, ati. After, according to, along. Anu. Near, abhi. Towards, prati. Between, antara. Antara. Near, below, upa.
Please remember this preposition also, because this will govern Vidya Vibhakti. You have to know the meaning. When we do translation, it will be easy. Now, from here only, really, the book starts actually for us. Okay. So, one by one, can do. Starting from Kameshwari.
Translated. Kakaha palani kadati. The crow.
Do like this. Listen. Find out the Kriya Padam. Kaha kadati, kani kadati. Like that.
Okay. Kakaha palani kadati. Kadati is Kriya Padam. Kaha kadati. Kakaha kadati.
Avoid English words. You say only in Sanskrit.
Okay. Kim kadati.
Kriya Padam Aspin Vakye Kriya Padam kadati. Kaha kadati. Kaha kadati. Kakaha kadati. Kani
Okay.
kadati, palani kadati, like that you do. Okay.
Okay. अस्मिन् वाक्ये क्रियापदं खादति, कः खादति, काकः खादति, किं खादति, फलानि खादति.
Kani kadati.
पानि. ओके. या फलानि. जलं द्रवति. अस्मिन् वाक्ये क्रियापदं द्रवति. किं द्रवति, जलं द्रवति. दुःखं स्मरतः. अस्मिन् वाक्ये क्रियापदं स्मरतः. किं स्मरतः.
Kim vachanam, smaratah.
प्रथमपुरुष द्विवचनं.
Purusha dvivachanam.
प्रथमपुरुष. करेक्ट. किं स्मरतः, दुःखं स्मरतः. That means they
Kau
too.
smaratah.
Kau.
Kau atra nasi. Kau asti.
Tau is not there.
Kau iti. Jnatabhyam. Kau.
Tau dukkam smaratah.
Kau smaratah. Right? Kauchana. Kau. Athava kauchit. Some two. Kauchana dukkam smaratah. Some two.
Okay.
Sumatiji.
अश्वाः पर्वतं प्रति धावन्ति. सः ते धावन्ति. अस्मिन् वाक्ये क्रियापदमस् धावन्ति.
क्रियापदम् अस्ति वा अस्ति. क्रियापदं किं धावन्ति.
धावन्ति. ते धावन्ति. अश्वाः धावन्ति. अश्वाः किं कुत्र धावन्ति अश्वाः. पर्वतं प्रति.
पर्वतं प्रति धावन्ति.
पर्वतं is द्वितीया.
Yes, Tritiya Vibhakti. So what?
Okay.
They
Ashvaha
run towards the mountain.
There are horses.
Why it is Parvatam is Tritiya Vibhakti? Because Dhavanti is movement. And towards or to the mountain. Parvatam Prati, going in the direction, moving in the direction, running in the direction of, that's why I said towards the mountain. Right? Yes, please continue.
Nipaha आचारं शंसति. क्रियापदं क्रियापदम् अस्ति. शंसति. कः शंसति. नृपः शंसति. किं शंसति. नृपः आचारं शंसति.
Means what? What is the translation?
The king praises the conduct.
Yes.
Janaha jivanti. So te jivant as a kriyapadam is jivanti. Te jivanti. Janaha jivanti. So people live.
People live.
Desham त्यजावः. त्यजावः क्रियापदम्. आवाम कः
not कः. आवाम किं त्यजावः.
किं त्यजावः. देशं त्यजावः.
आवाम कं त्यजावः. not किं कं. देश अकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गशब्दः. आवाम कं त्यजावः. देशं त्यजावः. ग्रामं सर्वतः वृक्षाः रोहन्ति. रोहन्ति क्रियापदं. के रोहन्ति. वृक्षाः रोहन्ति. कुत्र ग्रामं सर्वतः रोहन्ति. वृक्षाः रोहन्ति. What does it mean? Everywhere in the gramam, trees grow
on all sides of the
growing. All sides. All sides of the village. All sides, that is better. Not every. Sarvatra, you can say. Sarvataha is Sarvatra only. But still, all sides of the village. Yes. Next sentence. Upam nikasha dasau vatataha.
कौ वसतः
क्रियापदम
कौ वसतः दासौ वसतः
not vasatah vadatah
वदतः sorry वदतः
vadatah क्रियापदम
क्रियापदं वदतः
वचनम vadatah
प्रथम द्विवचनं
प्रथम पुरुषः द्विवचन
प्रथमपुरुष द्विवचनं
कौ वदतः
दासौ वदतः
कुत्र वदतः
निकषा वदतः दासौ वदतः
कूपं निकष
कूपं निकष
means
from near
Near
the well
two servants are talking
two servants are talking
Kameshwari
कनकं विना शरीरं जीवति अस्मिन् वाक्ये क्रियापदं जीवति क्रियापदं किं जीवति शरीरं जीवति किं विना
it's okay kanaka is napumsakalinga
किं विना शरीरं जीवति कनकं विना शरीरं जीवति
another word for kanaka is swarnam right
शीलं बोधामि अहं शीलं बोधामि बोधामि क्रियापदं किं बोधामि शीलं बोधामि
means what
शीलं means like contact
I know the content I know the
contact
the character content
character सुखं दुःखं जयति सुखं दुःखं जयति
kriyapadam
we have jayati is kriyapadam sukah
kim jayati
dukkam jayati
no
sukham
but
that's what I was thinking
possible
no I was thinking sukham is pullinga or napumsakalinga I was thinking that line okay sukham jayati sukham kim jayati sukham dukkam jayati
so this is what subjective complement
yes this is
sukham, if I say sukham
no sukham is subject and dukkam is the object of it.
Object
Happiness conquers dukkha
sorrow
right so sukham is one dukkam is karma 2-1
okay 2-1 okay
we did all these translation I remember
but
very
now
well
I forgot.
we had doubt here
okay next one Sumati
naraha no I have naraha indanam vahati vahati is kriya padam kaha vahati naraha vahati kim naraha kim vahati naraha indanam vahati
yes
kapotah karam tejati tejati is a kriya padam kaha tejati kapotah tejati kam tejati karam tejati kapotah karam tejati
it means the pigeon flies away from your hand
pigeons leaves the hand
flies away from your hand but you say the translate kapotah karam tejati as though it abandons your hand that's why I say the translation will be peculiar the words are peculiar that's okay kapotah karam tejati that you cannot say it is wrong but it is how it is right kapotah kam tejati karam tejati yes continue
parvatam paritah kamalani rohanti kani rohant kriyapadam rohanti kani rohanti kamalani rohanti kam rohanti kutra rohanti parvatam paritah kamalani
kutra rohanti okay
so parvatam paritah kamalani that is lotuses grow around the mountain
parvata paritah is
around surrounding
around yes
then janah annam pachati kriyapadam kaha pachati janah pachati kam pachati annam pachati or kim pachati annam pachati
kim pachati annam pachati
kim pachati so the A person cooks food. Okay. Next is Ashwaha Trinam Kadanti. Kadanti Kriya Padam. Take Kadanti, Ashwaha Kadanti. Kam Kadanti, Trinam or Kim Kadanti, Trinam Kadanti. Ashwaha Trinam Kadanti. The horses eat grass.
Okay, sociology.
Patre Antara Kapotaha Patram Tejati. Tejati Kriya Padam. Kaha Tejati, Kapotaha Tejati. Kutra Tejati, Patre Antara Tejati. Kim
Patre,
Tejati.
avibhaktihi patre, kim vachanam, patre?
Saptami.
Saptami, no.
It is Pratama Dvivachanam. No?
Ditya vibhakti dvivachanam.
Vidya Vibhakti.
It can be pratama.
Oh, sorry.
Kapotaha is pratama, right?
Oh, Kapota has. Okay, okay. Patre Antra.
Oh, in the vessel, I
Sorry.
think.
Okay, you're right. Patram tejati, patram is karma, where?
Patram only.
Patram is karma.
Sorry, I didn't.
Kam Tejati, Patram Tejati.
Patram tejati, kutra tejati, patre antra. Yes.
Patre
Patre is
tejati.
saptami vibhakti. In between.
Saptami.
And saptami.
Antara we saw it is
Antara is
between.
Inside. Antara.
Oh, you
Inside.
we saw.
yeah,
inside.
between the vessels. So patre is I think it is what is it is correct only. It is karma only.
Sapta.
See, it is antara, the word, it's upapada vibhakti.
Upapada.
Patram is karma, direct object. Whereas patra is not direct object. It is upapada vibhakti.
And it is patram. It's not patram. Patram
I'm sorry,
tyajati.
okay, patram is confusing. Kapotaha patram tyajati. Fine. Putra tyajati, patre antara. So patre is, it is vidya vibhakti dvivachanam. What I said was correct. Okay. It is indirect object. It is not saptami vibhakti. Please note. Because antara, we saw antara, the padam governs vidya vibhakti. So
I don't understand the meaning. What patre antara from that is between the vessels.
Two vessels are there. Between the two vessels, the pigeon leaves a leaf.
He drops the leaves between the two vessels.
Between the two vessels.
That doesn't make sense. No?
Yeah.
That is what the sentence is. You have got two parts are there in between the part. It drops a leaf. That's all. So patram is direct object. Patram is also object only. Don't take it as saptami. Okay, it's a mistake.
Okay. Kapotaha patram tyajati. Drops patati. Like that meaning. Tyajati.
Yes, tyajati patati only. That's what that's very better. Patram.
Okay.
Not patram patati cannot say. Patram patati means patayati you have to say. Okay. Patram falls. Kapota makes it fall or drops it. Therefore, tyajati is. Tyajati you can use. That is not a problem. Or patayati you can say.
Patra is Nabumsagalinga. Patra is Nabumsagalinga.
Patra is Nabumsagalinga. Patra is Nabumsagalinga. Patra is direct object. Patra is indirect object. It is upapada vibhakti. Because of the word antara, yes, it is. See, in between the vessels, so two vessels are there. So patra means two vessels. It cannot be saptami. If it is saptami, then it is ekavachanam. We cannot say in between the vessels. You cannot say, right? And
I
also,
thought inside the vessel.
Huh?
I thought it's inside the vessel.
Then why? What is it antara is doing? What is the meaning of antara? Just check the meaning antara here. Between.
Between it.
You only read that. You have to remember all the meaning. You have to remember. Okay.
But if these preposition comes, it will be only Ditya Vibhakti, right?
Sorry?
If these prepositions come.
Not only Dvitiya, Vina can govern Tritiya also.
Tritiya also, yeah.
Other possibilities also, that when the other lessons come, we will see. But now it is these prepositions will govern Dvitiya Vibhakti. That is what the lesson says. Okay. Upapada Vibhakti. These are called Upapada Vibhakti. Therefore, Patre Antara is not Saptami. Please note. The word Antara is, suppose if it is not there, then Patre is Saptami. Then Patra is Adhikarana Karaka, located. Understand?
Okay.
Kapotaha patre patram tyajati, you can say. In the vessel, it drops a leaf. But here it is patre antara. Because of antara, it's a good thing. Patre is indirect object. Understand?
Okay.
Okay.
Please note this.
It's a good one.
I don't know what we did before. You can note this. This. Upapada vibhakti. Next one. Please continue.
Mekhaha saranti. Saranti kriyapadam. Ke saranti, mekhaha saranti.
Clouds move.
Move.
Then please remember the meaning of this kriyapada or this prepositions. Okay. Please note the prepositions and you can remember the meaning. All these prepositions will govern Dvitiya Vibhakti. Will be useful for translation not only here, in the succeeding lessons also. Okay. Yeah, please continue.
Dik balam.
Balam. Dik balam.
Dik balam.
Dik, because of Dik, that Bala is
Vidya.
Vidya.
Disha.
Spy on the boy.
5 on.
Please continue.
The balam is the kriyapada.
No. Balam is a Dvitiya Vibhakti, Bala Shabda. Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana.
There's no kriya pada.
No kriya pada.
Asti is there. Asti is there.
Asti. Dik balam asti. Okay. Annam andarena kamalam rohati.
Kim rohati?
Kamalam rohati.
Yes.
Annam antarena.
Without food. Right?
Inside the food.
No, without food. Annam is without food, without water. That's what it means. Without antarena. Annam
Lotus
antarena.
grow without food.
Without food.
Antarena means without.
Without. Antara is different. Antara is in between. Antarena is without. Antarena, vina, same.
Without. Okay.
Annam is Dvitiya Vibhakti. Please note. It is indirect object. Direct object. Direct has no object here. Okay. Kamalam Rogati only. What is the object? Rogati, is it transitive or intransitive? Sakarmaka, akarmaka?
Akarmaka.
How can it have object? Direct object. Not possible.
So indirectly.
But annam is there as an object. It is not direct object, indirect object. That is why he used the word direct object in the lesson to distinguish from the object which come because of the preposition. Right? So annam is there, it is an object, but not for the kriyapadam. It is because of the antarena upapada vibhakti. Please continue.
Naraha trinam vapati. Vapati is kriyapadam. Kaha vapati, naraha vapati. Kam vapati, trinam vapati.
Kim vapati.
Kim vapati, trinam vapati.
Okay, next person.
Parvatam ubayataha nripaha vrikshan dahati. Kriyapadam dahati. Nripaha dahati.
Yes, right.
Nripaha kan dahati. Nripaha vrikshan dahati. Kutra nripaha vrikshan dahati. Parvatam ubayataha nripaha vrikshan dahati.
See, Parvatam is indirect object. When you ask question, you have to ask Kutra only. Kutra dagati Parvatam ubayataha. That you have to ask only Kutra. Because Kutra is, I don't think it is Adhikaranam. In fact, one way it is Adhikaranam only, but it is because of this Upapada, it is Dvitiya.
Okay. Anun nripam dasaha vrajati. Vrajati is kriyapadam. Kaha vrajati, dasaha vrajati. Kam dasaha vrajati. Anu nripam dasaha vrajati.
He follows. the king, right? Goes along with the king.
Okay, actually I didn't get the meaning. Okay.
Anu,
Anu, yeah, Anusarati, like that.
Long.
Okay.
Follows the king.
Anushastram balo dripam namataha. Namataha is kriya padam. Balo kau namataha balo namataha. Balo kam namataha balo dripam namataha. Anushastram. Okay, Kim only, no? Here, Anushastram. Kim balo nripam namataha. Anushastram balo nripam namataha. Just following the Shastram, the two boys,
Yes.
nripam namataha. That is right.
Anu is Anu, you can say the meaning after the
According.
Nirpam Dasaha, you saw that servant goes after the king. Anu. Here it is according to Anu Shastram, in keeping with and according to protocol.
Yeah. According to the Shastram. Okay.
Protocol.
We have to say Abhivadi, like that, something like
that's
that.
what it is, yes, exactly.
In Sthanam Abhitaha. Shall I continue? Or
yeah, I'll do that.
Yes.
Sthanam abhitaha dasaha palani pachati. Kaha pachati, dasaha pachati. Dasaha kani pachati, palani pachati. Putra, dasaha putra pachati, sthanam abhitaha pachati. So, servant puts the fruits
Sthanam Abhitaha means
near the place, so in front of the place or something.
yeah, near the place.
Abhita, near the place. Near the place.
In front or near.
Near the place, I think. Near the place.
Abhi near.
Abhitaha near.
Abhitaha near in front.
Front.
We have to by heart all these words.
That is what first we should.
Yes, you have to know it. Important. All these things we should know by this time.
Prepositions. Vanam samaya. Vanam samaya vasamaha. So we vayam vasamaha. Kutra vasamaha vanam samaya. Near the. So we live near the forest. Okay. Nikasha. Ati kanakam sukam. Ati kanakam sukam. So sukham is happiness. Gold. Okay. Ati is asti. Asti is the kriya padam. Ati kanakam sukam. So happiness is above gold.
Happiness is above gold. Ati kanakam sukam asti. Happiness is above gold. So here Ati kanakam is it is nominative only.
Prathama vibhakti. Sukam.
No, sorry. Ati is above gold. It's a good thing. Sukam Ati kanakam.
Is param like that.
So it is Dvitiya or?
Good thing. Here you can take it as a Dvitiya Vibhakti only.
I think so.
But
happiness is above gold.
how can you take Dvitiya Vibhakti when there is no Kriya? Right?
Asti.
Asti, for whom it is a general statement.
So it governs, Ati governs Dvitiya Vibhakti, but here it doesn't govern. Here it is subjective complement. Sukam Ati kanakam above gold. It's a sentence. It is a subjective complement. Okay. Not that all the time it should count like that. Okay. Because Sukam Asti, why? But it is
something like you are superlative, comparing above, something like that.
Yeah, comparing above only between the two. Sukam Ati kanakam. Okay. Next one.
Upadesham vipaha. Upadesham. So, kaha asti is the kriya padam. Kaha asti, vipaha asti. Putra asti, upadesham. So, king is near the country.
Yes, near the country. 1 minute. Yes, sir. Let me check that. I did this, Anton. What is this? Exercise 3. All the answers are there.
Oh, you worked out, Charanji. You worked
Huh?
out everything. You worked out all the exercises.
Yeah, but this one, another person, Swami was worked out, but I did everything in the class without showing this.
Oh,
I mean, my curriculum class. Here, Upadesham. It is Dvitiya Vibhakti. Okay, Atika Upapada Vibhakti. That is, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, not object, subjective complement. Please note it is Ati, the word is there. Therefore, it governs Ati Kanakam Sukam Bhavati. Yes, Bhavati is there. Sukam Bhavati. Sukam is above gold. Because of Ati, Kanakam it is in Vidya Vibhakti. Upapada Vibhakti. Please
oh,
note
it's
down.
nicely done, Charanji. Upapada, all that is very nicely done.
Yes.
Sukam. We should write like
Superior
this.
to go.
Ah,
You have to do
oh,
like
okay.
this.
That comparison, when it comes, we have to use Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Dvitiya
Is it so?
No, the Ati, the Upapadam governs Vidya Vibhakti. So not because of comparison. Comparison is the Panchami also. It is.
Panchami.
Ah,
Yeah,
Panchami.
That is different.
We have
Yeah.
learnt.
Ah,
Kanaka Chukam Bali,
Mm.
Baliyaha is something like that. But anyway, but here it is Ati, the Upapadam governs Kanaka in Vidya Vibhakti. Similarly, Upadesham Nirpaha, the king is near the country. So Nirpaha Asti, Kutra Asti, Upadesham, Upa governs Desha in Vidya Vibhakti. So this is here it is very clear. Here cannot be subject, but here I thought subject to complement. That also is. Ati is.
oh, Ati is superior then. Superior. Ati can.
He governs in Vidya Vibhakti, Kanaka. Okay, I will send you this document if it is useful to you.
Yes, Charanji. And so that we know one thing, if you send, we'll also follow the same pattern.
Yes. We mark, generally we do like that only, right? Sukam, we mark it. What Vibhakti, what
Ah, yeah.
Kanakam, what Vibhakti, what Vachanam. Then Ati. That's what we do in we did translations before.
Hmm.
But this also. Okay. First 2 lessons we have done, and this will stop here. This.
Still exercise. We have more.
Huh?
We have more in this exercise yet
Yeah.
to finish.
Many are there. So this is your homework. Please do it.
Okay.
English to Sanskritam. Next week we will see Friday.
So all Friday we can keep.
We'll do like this. Friday. Yes. If we do like that, we can do quickly. Now, the later you will see many things which you don't know also will come. Okay. So I think we stopped somewhere in 14th lesson in the class. Since we are doing other topics, we don't have time there. But now we can do here. This will supplement what we learned in the morning class. Please do this exercise.
Okay, sure.
After you finish, I will send you this.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I have a doubt, small doubt. This Buddha Dhatu, it comes as Bodhati as well as Bodhayati, right?
Bodhayati, that is causative, making you understand.
Positive, making to understand. It's not like teaching. Making
what
to understand
Bodhayati.
is teaching.
It is teaching
Yeah.
only.
Causing to understand is teaching.
Teaching.
Okay.
Adhyapayati. Shiksha.
Bodhati is just knowing.
Yes, knowing.
Okay, thank you.
Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Hari Om. Stop. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavada,
Dhanyavada,
Charanji.
धन्यवादः जी।